So earlier I talked about the 2004 NFL draft. Now I'm going to zero in on the 2016 NFL draft. A draft that produced Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, and Dak Prescott. I'm going to evaluate all three of these quarterbacks from this draft class. These are the three best quarterbacks from that draft class, and I will rank them. Well, actually, I'm not going to rank them. I'm going to tell you who, in my opinion, is the best quarterback out of the three up to this point in their career 5 years in. You know, we compared Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, and Eli Manning a couple of segments ago. We'll compare Goff, Wentz, and Dak Prescott right now. And I'll tell you who's the best out of the three. Okay, I'm not going to rank these from 1 to 3, but I will tell you who's the best in my opinion. When we look at Dak Prescott, the guy has won 60.8% of his games in his career. He's won Rookie of the Year. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's got a 97.3 passer rating for his career. He's completed 66% of his throws up to this point in his career. He's thrown for 106 touchdown passes and has 40 interceptions so far through 69 career games. Carson Wentz, he's won 53% of his games. He's a 1-time Pro Bowler. He's thrown for 111 touchdown passes, 49 interceptions, and completed 63% of his throws in 66 career starts. And he also has a 89 pass rating. Not to mention, he's led the NFL in QBR in the past. He led the NFL in QBR in 2017. But this year, Carson Wentz leads the NFL in interceptions and turnovers as well. So you've gotten a lot of good, you've gotten a lot of bad from Carson Wentz at times. Jared Goff. Jared Goff has won 62.5% of his games. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's completed 63% of his throws. He has thrown 103 career touchdown passes in his career up to this point, 50 interceptions, a 92.5 passer rating, in 64 career starts. Not to mention, he's also been to a Super Bowl in the past, and in that Super Bowl, he lost to the New England Patriots 13-3. Now, I believe Jared Goff is the best quarterback, at least so far, 5 years in up to this point. Jared Goff is the best quarterback from the 2016 NFL draft class. While Jared Goff might not be as physically talented as Carson Wentz, while he may not be the athlete that Dak Prescott is quite, not saying Dak Prescott's an elite athlete, but I think that Dak Prescott's more mobile than Jared Goff. One thing I get from Jared Goff is consistency. And I mean, he shows up in big games. He, time and time again, has shown up in big games. Now, in the Super Bowl, he came up small, but he's the only quarterback out of these three that has gotten to a Super Bowl. And Carson Wentz has played on some good teams. Dak Prescott, he's had some talent around him. He's the only one that's gotten to a Super Bowl. And keep in mind, Jared Goff went on the road 2 years ago and outplayed Drew Brees in the Superdome. Are you sure Dak Prescott is capable of doing that? Are you sure Carson Wentz is capable of doing that? Dak Prescott has not been good versus winning teams the past 3 years. And Carson Wentz, he's a shell of himself right now. I don't know if Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz have that it factor to go on the road and beat Drew Brees on the road in a playoff game. I don't know if they can do that. I know Jared Goff can. And Jared Goff, honestly, was a Brandon Cooks drop touchdown pass away from maybe beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Jared Goff threw a perfect ball to Brandon Cooks with 4 minutes left to go in the Super Bowl. That would have broken the game open. That would have allowed the Rams to get a touchdown, and they very well could have beaten the Patriots. Now, again, I'm not defending Jared Goff throughout that game, but in the moment of truth, Jared Goff threw a perfect pass to Brandon Cooks that was not complete. It was a great play by the defender, and Brandon Cooks couldn't come up with the ball. If Brandon Cooks comes up with that football, we might be talking about Jared Goff having won a Super Bowl. Okay? You know, and Carson Wentz has 0 playoff wins. Has never had back-to-back winning seasons. Dak Prescott, 5 years in, He's got one playoff victory. And Jared Goff on his way to getting to that Super Bowl versus Tom Brady, do you know who he beat? He beat Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And like I mentioned earlier, Dak Prescott, last 4 years, he is 7-17 versus winning teams. Say what you want about Dak Prescott's roster, say what you want about his coaching staff, the common denominator is outside of his rookie year, he doesn't beat good teams. And see, people kind of have written Jared Goff off to a certain degree just because his rookie season was not as strong as Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz came out swinging their rookie years. Jared Goff, he had a slow start to his career. 5 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions, and 0-7 as a starter his rookie season. And let's be real, people. That season, Jared Goff was not put in a position to succeed. He went to a bad team with not a great coaching staff, and he just wasn't that good. But the minute Jared Goff got Sean McVay to be his head coach, he took off, man. Ever since Jared Goff's rookie year, which was not very good, like I said, he has 4 straight winning seasons, if you count this year. Because right now the Rams are 7-4. They're most likely going to the playoffs. They're going to have a winning season. No doubt about it. Unless Jared Goff gets injured or something like that, okay? Jared Goff's worst season since his rookie year was last year. A year in which he went 9-7 and threw for 4,600 yards. Right now, Jared Goff is having a very good season. The Rams, they're 7-4 right now. They're playing good football. And I can make the argument that when given a clean pocket, Jared Goff throws one of the best deep balls in the entire NFL. His deep ball is better than Dak Prescott, and it's better than Carson Wentz. I'm just sorry. That's what my eyes tell me. Jared Goff throws a beautiful deep ball. So when it comes to the 2016 quarterbacks that were drafted, I'm going to say the number 1 overall pick from that draft class, that guy being Jared Goff, he's the best quarterback from that draft class 5 years into his career. And again, if you want to say Dak and Wentz are a little bit more talented than Goff, fine. You can say that if you want. But I think that Jared Goff has those big game intangibles that Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott just flat out don't have. And it's not like Jared Goff's a bum. The guy, like I said, throws one of the best deep balls and fade routes in the entire NFL. Better than Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott. I'm just saying, man. So, Jared Goff, he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been pretty durable. And when given a good roster, he's shown he can at least get you to the dance. He can at least get you to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff has all the intangibles. He's still only 26 years old. And I firmly believe that one day, Sean McVay and Jared Goff are going to win a Super Bowl. They will get back to a Super Bowl eventually down the road. Probably not this year. Probably not next year. But eventually, I'm confident that Jared Goff is going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not confident that Dak Prescott's going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not confident that Carson Wentz is going to win a Super Bowl because Carson Wentz, he don't got the intangibles at all. And while Dak Prescott does have the leadership qualities, while he's a pretty good quarterback, sometimes he just doesn't show up in big games. So, as I speak today, 5 years into their careers, when we look at Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff, I gotta say, I think Jared Goff takes the title as being the best quarterback from the 2016 NFL draft class, at least so far. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.